Allah said to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the Quran, He said, وَأْمُرْ أَهْلَكَ بِالصَّلَاةِ وَاصْطَبِرْ عَلَيْهَا لَا نَسْأَلُكَ رِزْقًا. Allah said, instruct your family. Allah said to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, instruct your family to pray. وَأْمُرْ أَهْلَكَ بِالصَّلَاةِ. Instruct them to stand and pray and offer their salah. And the scholars have said, whenever the Prophet ﷺ would enter into his blessed home, the first question that he would ask every member of his household is, have you prayed? Have you prayed? Have you prayed? And he'd make sure that everybody in his home has offered that particular prayer of that particular time. Allah said, instruct your family to pray to the Prophet ﷺ. And what did he say? And وَاصْطَبِرْ عَلَيْهَا. He said, and be persistent upon that. Don't give up. Don't do it for a few days and say, oh, they're not praying, forget it. I give up on them. Don't give up on them. وَاصْطَبِرْ عَلَيْهَا. Be patient. Find different ways and avenues and means of reminding them to pray. Don't be harsh. Don't be rough and tough upon them. Find the gentlest of ways. The Prophet ﷺ, even with salah, he tried to find the best of ways to encourage people to pray. A man came to the masjid of the Prophet ﷺ and he was new. And during the prayer, he began to speak to somebody. And after the salah was complete, the Sahaba started to say to him, don't you know this is a prayer? You shouldn't be speaking to people. And they were kind of tough upon him, not realizing that he's new. So he got upset. And he went to the Prophet ﷺ. And the Prophet said to him, إِنَّمَا صَلَاتُنَا هَذِهِ لَا تَصْلُحُ لِكَلَامِ النَّاسِ. The Prophet said to him, this prayer of ours, it doesn't befit it that you speak with the speech of people. إِنَّمَا هِيَ تَسْبِيحٌ. Rather, this prayer of ours is glorification of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and a remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when he heard this in a very easy, gentle way from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what did he say? He said, Allahumma arhamni wa Muhammadan wa la tarham ma'ana ahadan. He said, oh Allah, have mercy upon me and Muhammad and don't have mercy upon any of these, i.e. the rest of them who are harsh with me. And the Prophet said to him, ضَيَّقْتَ وَاسِعًا. You've restricted something which is enormous. And what's that? The mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah said, وَرَحْمَتِي وَسِعَتْ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ. Allah said, and my mercy encompasses everything. So if the family of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam doesn't have a token to say we belong to the Prophet's family and that we're excused from prayer, then our families have no excuse.